A lot of people have asked me about a Google site that I use with my staff. I created one last year, kind of through trial and error, and it was really beneficial for the staff to have everything in one place. We could always say, check the hub, and throughout the year, we added more information to the hub. What I did essentially was take last year's hub and I copied that Google site and made a new hub for this school year. You'll see it looks almost exactly the same. I used the same buttons, but I did change some of the buttons based upon if we used them or not last year and for some new things that we have going on this school year. Plus, I also put a new image at the top for our new school logo. But this is how it will look. I'm in the preview. That's what you can see down here. I'm in the preview section of my Google site. So this is the home page, and you can see that it's entitled SEMS Hub 1920, and then I'm at the home. I can easily click on any of these to take me to the other pages, or I can click on the buttons. And like I said, you can have as many or as few buttons as you want. We have kind of added and taken away buttons as we've needed more or not used them. So let me show you. If I go to the teacher handbook button, I click on it and it takes me to a separate page and my handbook will come up. One of the best things about this is that because it is Google, you upload Google documents to it. And so I put the handbook on here, but let's say somebody says something's wrong, their room number, or something else is wrong with it. I can easily change that in Google and it will be reflected into my Google site. So I can make changes to the Google Doc and it would automatically be changed in here. And so I uploaded the whole teacher handbook very easily onto this button. And that's the only thing on that button. If I go back to the main page, I have Flip Faculty Meetings, and so I uploaded this from YouTube. This is my Flip Faculty meeting for back to school. I also uploaded a my SMORE newsletter and then our pre-planning week calendar as well. When I go back to the main page, I can go to any of these buttons. Not all of them are updated for this school year. These are last year's grading procedures, but as we get the new ones for this school year, we will upload those. And like I said, I just copied the website or the Google site over, and so everything that was attached to the pages are there on this one, and I can delete them and add new things to it. It makes it really easy. So your first year of making a Google site will be difficult because you'll be making those buttons. But once you have it created, you can just copy it from year to year. Although it might have been fun if I had had more time to make new buttons for this year so it didn't look so much like last year's. This is how it looks when you are in there working on it, and I can also see that my assistant principal is in there working on it currently as well, adding things. So it's one of the great things about it and having assistant principals is that we're each responsible for different areas on the hub based upon our jobs and what's in our job description and kind of what falls under each of us. And so I just asked them, and we actually have a sheet that says who's going to update which section on the hub so that I can make sure that all of the buttons are updated for the 2019-2020 school year. And you can see he's working in the safety hub and the PBIS part of our hub at this point. We'll also update our duty schedule, so you can see that I can copy this, I can change the background color of it, or I can delete this whole section. I can also just delete this button if I want to. This will take me to the attached page. So this was the teacher list. And so I have my staff list for 2019-20 in here, and I can edit this just going straight from that button as well. Or I can do it from up here. And just make those changes. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is start on a website called Canva, CANVA.com. And this is where I made my buttons, and you can see my designs at the bottom. I was making blue ones, and then I decided to stick with our school colors and make those. Once you make those, it's extremely easy to make changes and to get them into your Google site. One of the best things is, for example, this year we decided to add the STEAM button because that is something we're working on this school year, and I want to have information on our hub about it. And so I can just open up one of my previous designs, change the wording from field trips, for example, to STEAM, download it, and then I have the new button very easily. So when I get onto the Canva page, I go to create a design, and then I do custom dimensions. And for this, I've just put 250 by 100. So custom dimensions, and then I go to create a design. You can use any of these templates. I think it's just easiest for the buttons I was using to just use one that has very little on it so I can make the changes. For example, I can just delete this and just use the wording. And it's nice because it has the lines to make sure that you are centering it. So then when it comes to the background, I want to use a school color maybe, and so I can just go over here, I can slide it over, or I can just click on it. So maybe you want something summery, and then you just go in here and type whatever it is. Maybe you want everybody to use the same lesson plan template, so you want to put that on the hub. And then the best part about this is you just copy that page, so you have the same setup, and now I just change it to faculty handbook. I can go up here and center it. I can make it bold. I can change the color of the font if I want to. I can make it uppercase, however I want to do it. And I can just keep copying till I have all of the buttons I want. So maybe this one I want to do RTI. But I also want to, that's a bit too much for me. Maybe I want to have some buttons yellow and some buttons green, and so just like you saw on mine, go back to the main, I have burgundy and gray buttons, and so I can just easily go, where are the ones I'm working on, and pull in whatever other color I want to use. And so I have these, let's make one more. And then when you're done making all of the buttons that you want for your page, you're just going to download them. I always like this page because a cute quote always comes up when you're waiting for the download. And so then your download will be at the bottom of your screen. This is probably not the best way to do it, but this is how I do it. Yes. I just slide them onto my desktop. And I do like to rename them, and then I have a folder that says buttons on it, so I just keep all my buttons in that folder. So I would rename this staff list. Oh, I didn't want to open it. I just wanted to rename it. RTI, just so I'll know what they are. So you would do that with all your buttons. So we'll go back in And you can see if I go, actually, let me step back. If I go to Google and you go over to the right, you can pull up and there's a Google site. You may never have even noticed that it was there. And then over on the left, you say, we'll go click on New Google Sites. And like I said, I have two. This is last year's and this is this year's. And I also said maybe I should have changed them a little. But we'll just bookmark the newest one so everyone will go there. Down at the bottom right, we're going to create a new site. So easy enough. So now I want to change it to whatever you want to call it. And like I said, mine is the hub. And so I can stretch it out so that all the words are on the same page. Oops. Make sure it's, come on. And then we can change the image. I can upload an image or I can select an image. I uploaded my school logo to it, but you can just choose one of these stock pictures if you'd like. But it's really easy just to make sure that you go you can change the image, upload, and my image is right there. That's my logo, and I can just change it to that. This will just stick with one of the stock ones. All right, so one of the weirdest things about Google Sites, and I don't know if anyone would be willing to listen to me say that it should change, you have to add a page before you can attach a button to a page. So you go to Pages and you click New Page. So remember, I had an RTI page. I also had a staff list page. I also had faculty handbook. And I don't remember what my fourth page was, but we'll just stick with these. So you can see, and you saw as I was making them, that those actual pages showed up on the left. So we will attach those pages to our home page. But you have to make those pages first. So make all these pages, and you can go ahead even on these. If you want to change your image, you can change your image. So for the faculty, we want to have something like this. We can. You can even put a picture of your staff if you wanted to do that, whatever you wanted to do. All right, so now let's go back to home. Let me go ahead and title my site. I'll just put practice up there at the left. And you can see now my other pages are listed at the top. I can even add a logo for my title so that it would just be attached, and so I can add my school logo to it. But you don't have to do that. I can delete that as well. All right, so this is when we want to start adding things. So we're going to say we want to upload an image. We're going to go to the desktop, and there's that was my other one, the lesson plan template. There's the one for the faculty handbook. And again, you can make these just like you saw mine. I might have to go back and make that 2 lines. Staff list. And I can also move this staff list up to here. And another nice thing is that you can very easily see when it's the same size as the other one next to it, so that they can remain very similar. And then we had one more that we want to upload. But again, once you make all your buttons, you can just upload all of them very easily and quickly at one time. Just upload all those pictures. And at this point, I don't love my color scheme, but you can do whatever you want. This is just a sample for you. You can use whatever picture you want in the back. You can make it very elementary, fun, summery, back to school feeling, or more middle school or high school, depending on your preference. And so once we do that, we have to attach it. So here is my button for staff list. You see that it says insert a link. So now I click on that and there's my staff list already listed. So that's why it's really important to go and create the pages first, and then I can link the button to that page. So now they're linked. And so see, it's now linked to that page. Same thing we'll go do for each of them. So we insert a link, faculty handbook, apply. Insert a link. Oh, this is the one. I didn't have one. Okay, so I don't have one for here. So it's like, oh, there's none for this, no page. And so you just have to go over here, back to pages, add a new page, and we're going to add lesson plan template. Done. Go back to the home. It's still making that page. Go back home. Go back to your lesson plan template button, insert a link, and now you can attach it. RTI, I'm going to insert the link, RTI, and apply. Then you see how these two buttons are on one rectangular area. I can also make that kind of stand out if I wanted to. Have some water behind there. Make this one the same, or I can make it different. Why would you want to go? I get a little too impatient. All right, let's go back in. Here we go. Maybe this one I want to do the post-it notes. And I can just, what I did on mine, let me see the one, I did every other one, and I just stuck with the gray. Oh, this one didn't go every other one. But you can do it however you like to make it as eye-catching as you can, so people will actually go in there and look at all the information. So then it's just really easy. So when I go here and I want to go to the actual web page, I have two options, remember. I can go from here to go to the page, or I can go from here to go to the actual RTI page. So when I get there, I just want to upload stuff. So now from the drive, I want to upload things, which I don't know that I have any RTI documents to upload, but let me just put a calendar on there. And you can see it just goes straight to it. That's why it's very easy to do it straight from your Google Drive. And then you just elongate it so it can all be seen on the same page. And you can play with it however you want to. Because here's just a pre-planning calendar. I can click and this will go to the next section, or if I can get it to, I can drag it up and have it be next to that area. And there, when you publish it, you can't do it now because it's not published. There is the bar to scroll down. But if you want to be able to see the whole thing, it's probably better just to slide it down to its own section, and you can make it as big as you want so that you can see the whole page. And you can just keep adding. Add everything you want to the page. And you can make it smaller. We can make it so that two are on the same page, like so. And so then I would publish it. So now when somebody's looking at this page, okay, so anyone currently, how I have it set, and we can talk about that, we can manage how we want it set. Anyone at Effingham County Board of Education with an effingham.k12.ga.us email address can see it. And that's kind of how I keep mine, so that outside counties won't come in and see the information, or parents or students. So I just keep it for my staff. But you can open it up, and I've opened it up before so that other people can see it, and then I just change it back. But so then it'll just take a couple seconds to publish. I can then, remember, go see what preview, how's it going to look? How's that page going to look when the teachers are looking at it? And there's your scroll bar so that they can scroll down. I can go to home and make sure that is going to look the way that I want it to. I can click to show that it goes to the RTI page, that this will go to the lesson plan template page, because before I have accidentally put the wrong links on there. The faculty handbook is there, and so you just would then exit this to go back to working on it. And remember, anytime you add information, always publish it, or they won't be able to see what you've added. You can then share it with others. I have invited, like I said, my assistant principals to be able to edit it. So I've invited them, and I keep them where they can edit it. And then, like this one is published, anyone at Effingham County Board of Education can find and view. But you can change that to manage who you want to be able to see it. And you can also get the link, and then you copy this link and send it an email out to your staff, and then they can get to there. And they can also make sure that they add this to a favorite, so they can continually go back to the hub throughout the year to get all the information. But that's really the simplest and easiest way to do it. Just make sure that you're previewing, making sure that those pages are attached, that your information on those pages is how you want it to look. Make sure you also publish it. And it's really easy to go back and save. I can now say, oh, I forgot I also wanted to have a choice board for professional development button. And so I can go back to this. I can change this one. I want it to be the lemons. And change it to the PD choice board. I want to put that in the center. And now when I download, I can just download only the first one, because I've already downloaded the RTI in the faculty handbook. And so now I can just download the first one, save that to my desktop, then upload the image, and just keep doing it that way. It's really, really easy. Canva is one of the best things that I have found to make these buttons, and you can always change the size. I just found the 250 by 100 is the easiest, because like you saw, when I'm in there, I can change the size of it. When you have something long like this, I probably should have put template on a second line so I could have made this one smaller. But you can just play around. You can put 4. Oops, that is not what I wanted to do, but I could do that. And it'll automatically make it the same height, but we can make it the same width. I can make this one smaller, however I want to do it. I can make it bigger. If there's a button that's extremely important, you want to make sure that stands out you can do that. All right, so that's pretty much how you make a Google site. Just make sure that you publish it. So all those changes will be shared, and you preview what you have created. And share that link with your staff. Get out of this. Share that link with your staff so they can get to all the information that you're sharing for the year. Have a great back to school year.